Do this, do this, do this. Like, I'm exhausted. Oh, that's good stuff. Yeah, ready to start.
Hey guys, I'm Patrick, and I just graduated from nursing school. So, I guess that makes me a Murse. As the new guy on the unit, I've got a lot to learn. But with some help from my friends, I think I'm gonna be a great nurse.
Hey friends, long time no see. Welcome back to the channel and thanks for tuning in. And you're already revved and pumped and ready to go and you're super excited to watch the video, I know. So this week was a little bit interesting. It was a little bit different than what I've been doing because I had 2 days of work, actual shift work. I didn't actually have any residency program days that were scheduled for class, like no actual class. I still was responsible for an extra 12 hours of time, you know, obviously that I'm getting paid for through modules. Other than that, not much has really been happening, but some pretty cool stuff is going on at work. Yeah, pharmacy, kind of sneaky people there, okay? I mean, don't get me wrong. I know that they're really busy, and they're probably, like, way outnumbered. Granted, I don't know their job, and I'm sure their job is very, very meticulous, and in fact, I know, and it's gotta be very meticulous because they're mixing drugs. Okay, yes, perfect. However, if I could just put in a word of constructive criticism, just, you have access to the medication records of our patients. And so, when I'm out of a medication, which is a regularly scheduled medication, and like, we all know that this patient is gonna be getting this again in the future, like, why isn't it in the drawer in the morning? What do? I come in the morning and I don't have like any meds in my drawer that I need for my patients. I just do a quick little med request for all 20 of the meds that I need. A couple minutes later I go, do my assessment, and maybe like, you know, 10, 15, 20 minutes later, oh, maybe it's like 3 hours later if I get sidetracked with something. Who knows? Like, we all know how time warps when you're in a hospital. I still don't have those meds. What do? I do a little courtesy call to those little pharmacy people down wherever they are. They come out of nowhere. I say, hey, pharmacy people. Hey, this is your good old Murse. Yeah, well, I don't have any of the meds for my patient, which I med requested like a few hours ago. You think that might be coming up anytime soon? This is just, you know, common courtesy call. They're like, oh yeah, okay, cool, we'll take care of it right away. Here's where it gets sneaky. One time, they may hand deliver the medication to me. They'll come right up to the unit with their little medication card. They've got their nice little buckets of like meds and their medication for all. And coming up and dropping off the medications, like door service or something like that. I'm like, oh, this is great. So I'm expecting someone to come walking up here with the medication bucket, and I'm expecting to see somebody that's dropping it off on my server. I'm like, okay, cool. I'll catch them when they come by. I'll see them when they drop the medication off. It will be no thing. I've got other stuff I can take care of. I'm gonna go do it. Well, I haven't seen the pharmacy people here. Maybe they just dropped it off in the server. No, it's not in the server. So I'm like, oh, hell. I go and ask my preceptor, I'm like, hey, I still don't have this. She's like, well, have you checked the tube system? The tube system, you know, like those little, like, the bank tubes, flippity-doo-dah things that go through wherever they go, and, you know, the pneumatic tube systems or whatever. Oh. No! Since when do they tube stuff up to the unit? No one tells me that. As long as I've known. So I walk over to the tube system, and I see a little lonely tube sitting in the little area, whatever it's called, and lo and behold, it's the medication that I've been waiting for like the entire shift. Oh, really? Get it taken care of. Alright, coast is clear. The next time I have to do this, the next morning, I come in, none of the medication is in the drawer again. I do the same thing. Med request, call down, hey, this is the Murse, yeah, okay, great, cool. And so for the next hour or so, I'm walking back and forth to the pneumatic tube system, where they're flying all over the different hospital. It's like the Jetsons or something. Go do something, no meds. Go do something, no meds. Go do something. And I'm not getting it. I talk to my preceptor again, and I'm like, hey, I sent a med requester down, and I called them again, and so they know that I got the order, and they said they'd be working on it, and then I've been checking the tube system, and I still don't have anything. So like, now what do you think I should do, or what do I do? Well, have you checked the drawer? Oh, come on! No, because yesterday I checked the drawer and it wasn't there, and then you told me to check the tube system, and then I went and checked the tube system today and it wasn't there, and now it's in the drawer. Pharmacy, I'm on to you. If this is the way that it's gonna be, we need some consistency. I guess we need to know who's who in pharmacy. I am going to start asking when I'm on the phone, be like, okay, and now how should I expect this delivery of medication for my patient? Is that going to be hand delivered and put into my drawer? Or is that going to be tubed up? What are we doing? I call down the pharmacy and I'm like, hey, we need this. I need this for my patient. Oh, and by the way, it's not stocked in the dispensing system, so you guys I'm just letting you know, like, maybe you can, like, come and, like, restock it. They're like, oh, well, SPD, stocks that stuff. SPD is the, the supply people that live down wherever they live down with the pharmacy people. I think they're in cahoots. And then I call the supply people, and they're like, oh, we don't do that. That's pharmacy. You got to get that from pharmacy. So I'm like, no, pharmacy doesn't have it. If you don't have it and pharmacy doesn't have it, and I definitely don't have it, who am I calling? None of this makes sense. I got to get in. I got to get on the inside of the little pharmacy SPD the group, the inner circle there, because I gotta know how they're working these things, because I don't know where to look anymore. I don't know where my meds are coming from. All I care. Look, I'm just a brand new Murse that's trying to keep his patient alive. I just gotta know about it. That's fine. I just gotta know. Like, it's just driving me nuts. We gotta get on the same page. We gotta do this communication thing and, like, start talking to each other, because I don't know. I don't know. So that's all I'm gonna say about that. So other than not having any drugs for my patients to take, you know, I'm really starting to feel quite a bit more comfortable with my setting, with what I'm supposed to be doing. And I know I was starting to get in kind of the groove, the rhythm, you know, the routine of how everything's working and all. And I think I'm really starting to get kind of confident. I'm like, okay, do my thing. I'm jabbing along. And, you know, my preceptor was like, okay, so, you're doing really good with, like, one patient. I'm like, yeah, I'm doing real good. Yeah, okay, cool. I'm doing really good. So how about you, help me with this admit so you can like see how all that stuff works, and you can kind of like start working your way into 2 patients. I'm like, awesome, that sounds okay. I think I can handle this. I get him admitted and I do an assessment on him and I chart some stuff and I do a little other things, but then like it's like he was never there, because like then all of a sudden, of course, the afternoon was busy for me with that 1 patient, so I can't really say that I got a lot of experience taking care of 2 patients. So I'm just gonna say it was like 1.5. 1.5. Baby steps. So probably when we reconvene next week, I think I'm going to have taken 2 patients. I'm like, oh my god. I'm like excited, but like I'm kind of nervous again, because I know I'm probably gonna be like losing my mind again. Right when I think that I'm getting my mind, like my preceptor's kicking me off the cliff and pushing me down and telling me to swim again. Yes, swimming when there's no water to be swimming in. You heard me right. I think once I start getting comfortable with that, I think that's when it's really gonna like start to set in. And I guess, you know, to be totally honest with myself, I guess that's kind of like what the transition from going into nursing school, where everyone is holding your hand and looking over your shoulder and doing everything, into like real world professional nursing, is like, you know, it's pushing your comfort zone and getting out of that safety space and doing stuff on your own and being afraid. What I've come to learn is that being afraid is actually a good thing, because it keeps your patients safer. Like after I graduated, I was like, oh yeah, I got my degree, I got my bachelor's in nursing, blah blah blah, and oh yeah, I'm a super nurse now. And after I graduated my NCLEX, like I'm a real nurse. Like, no, you know, I'm a nurse. Every week I feel like, oh yeah, I'm starting to feel like more of like a nurse now, and then the week after that, it's like, oh yeah, now, okay, now I'm starting to really feel like a nurse. And in a nutshell, that's what nursing is. That's the process of becoming a nurse. Like, oh, this is like my soapbox, so just bear with me. You may get to the point where you're comfortable with certain things, and you see after a while you are experienced and you know how to do things. It's that, you know, it's just that learning curve. You get over that learning curve, but then you're still always learning something, and I can tell that there's always going to be, every single week or every single month or maybe just every single year, I'm going to be like, oh yeah, okay, now I'm starting to feel like a nurse. Interesting. It's food for thought. Man, there is so much insight that I'm getting by becoming a nurse, and I'm getting to a point where I'm understanding how everything works. This is incredible. I'm gonna start delegating things. I never really got great experience delegating in school. I want to be able to like get into that groove of knowing, and honestly, I think that will help me a lot, because like I'm always running around, you know, half the time with a chicken with my head cut off. Actually, I have to say the nurses' assistants on my unit have been amazing. They're super cool, and they're really hard workers, and I give them a lot of props, mostly because I've been one and I've been there and I've done that. But they work their butt off, and sometimes they may even know patients more than the nurses do. Better than anybody else. So it's going to be probably a little bit difficult for me to delegate certain things. Gonna be continuing to grow into a nursing plant. Holy crap! This is so exciting! So before you guys go, there's some pretty cool things that are coming up in the future. Anyone who'd be interested in chatting with me, who'd be interested in sharing their experiences, if you're a nursing student, if you're a new nurse, or if you've been a nurse on the job for a while already, if you want to share your experiences, get a hold of me. You can either send me an email at mightymursepatrick@gmail.com, or you can send me a message on the Facebook page, The Nursing Monologues. This could be you right here, and I'd be like, hey, how you doing? And you'd be like, oh, I'm doing okay, Mr. Murse. And I'd be like, so tell me about your experiences. And then you'd be like, yeah, this is so good. In the meantime, stay connected with me and all of our friends and all of our nursing and Mursing friends. Find me on Snap at mighty_Murse. And I have a new Twitter and Instagram account, which you can follow me with all of my photos, updates, and tweets. And both of my screen names are mighty_Murse. I think they're all the same. I want you guys to be able to remember it so you can like find me. Okay. Because remember, it's never a dull moment in the life of Mursing. Thanks for watching, guys, and don't forget to subscribe.